Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to another session of our TinkerPop Contributorcast. So today we're just going to do a quick post-release review of our recent 3.7.4 release. So joined with me is Cole here.
Hello.
So today we expect it to be relatively short. And then so we're going to go with just starting with some notable bug fixes and improvements in 7.4. And then we're going to give a brief overview of what's upcoming for 3.8. So we'll just get started. So some notable bug fixes is that one of the big improvement in performance was the traversal lock, which was being called excessively when you're applying strategies in complex traversal situations. And so we found that child traversals were getting locked repeatedly. So now that is fixed. So there's been some pretty good performance improvement in that front. Another great contribution from the community by Kyle Boyer is a fix to the Gremlin JavaScript. So this actually happened where, so after upgrading so for client users, if you're upgraded to Node 22 or newer, so applications may encounter some network error failures, which was actually caused by the removal of the built-in WebSocket support in Node. And which did not support custom headers or handle the WebSocket handshake properly. So then the community from Kyle Boyer, so that is now fixed. So the headers are now passed in properly. So it should work well for the Node if you're working with the JavaScript client on Node 22. And there were also bugs discovered in the Tinker transaction graph, and that's now been fixed. And I'll let Cole give some more details on that.
Yeah, so there's a couple of bugs that came up in Tinker transaction graph, and they're all related to the way it's tracking what elements have been updated and deleted within the transaction. So there's one related to deleted elements not getting updated properly. If you try to add back an element with the same idea, it could lead to some issues. We also had some issues around handling of elements that have been read. So we've cleaned that up. In case everyone isn't aware as well, the isolation level for Tinker transaction graph is just read committed. So it guards against dirty reads, but it doesn't guard against stuff like non-repeatable reads. So yeah, we just have a read commit isolation level, and that's what Simplin is now, and it's hopefully it should be good now. Yeah, we've cleaned up all the inconsistencies that have been reported.
Yeah.
I can jump on, I guess, to some of the new improvements we've added. First ones are quite simple. We've updated the runtimes to Go 124 and Node 18 as the older runtimes dropped out of support. We've also allowed for null values in maps routed to merge via mergey. So previously you couldn't put any nulls in there as the property values in those maps. Now you can, and the behavior, it's a bit dependent on how your graph is configured. So putting a null as a property in one of those maps, it will act the same as if you're setting null as a property value using the property step. So that can mean a few different things. In your basic configuration where you've got single cardinality properties and null properties are not supported, it effectively just deletes the property. If you allow null property values, of course, it just sets null as the property value. And then if you have setter list cardinality, you end up appending a null property value if it's a supported property value in your graph. Also, there's another contribution here, this one by Clement, where now have hot reloading of SSL certificates in the server. So if you've got your server running, you can, if you update the certificate file at the server's reading, it will detect that live and reload it on the fly. So it's a nice improvement there. And let's jump in, give a bit of a preview here for 3.8 as well. So 3.8 is coming along. It's there's no release date that's been discussed yet, but it's a good chunk of the work is already in. So it's probably in the near future we should have 3.8 together. And some of the changes got here, it's mostly focused on semantics improvements here. So there's been a lot of kind of long-standing pain points in some of the step semantics. Some of them are newly surfaced as well. The main focus with 3.8 is just try and stabilize those as much as possible, is get the language into as clean of a state as possible. So first one here I want to bring up was range local, and sort of family of steps that includes limit local, skip local, and tail local. Previously they would have a bit of a mixed results format where if the resulting list was a length of 1, it would get automatically unfolded and you just get a single scalar result, and then in all other cases you'd get a list back. Now you just always get a list back as a result, so you don't need to have any of this type uncertainty in the results. We've been looking at the comparability semantics as well. Gremlin previously adopted a ternary Boolean semantics to deal with incomparable types, and also things like comparing to nan, where it results in an error. The challenge that we had in Gremlin with that is it becomes very difficult to figure out how to handle those error cases. Ultimately, it needs to lead to filtering a result out if the error doesn't get handled. And just through the structure of Gremlin, it is very difficult to find a consistent and predictable place for that to happen. So we've dropped it down to a binary Boolean system. So now if a comparison can't be performed, that's considered false, and it just flows through from there. So it's just a bit of a simpler semantic. It's easier to understand, and it's easier to kind of predict how it will behave. We're finding strategies we're interacting unpredictably with the old system as well. So that's a bit more stable. Stuff like we've got type promotion in the sum step as well. So this is to handle overflows. So now if you're trying to add stuff together and it might overflow, it will automatically promote to the smallest type needed to prevent the overflow. So stuff like ints promote to longs, floats go to doubles, shorts to ints, that sort of thing. So that's just to get more useful results out of it. Don't have to deal with the overflow as often. The true step as well, now it previously used to return, if you're using kind of the switch statement sort of format, it would run the trial traversal for every matching option. That's just been switched. It runs the first matched option only. I think this should be more in line with what people expect to use it for. You're usually if you're doing a switch statement, you're only intending to run a single case, so it just simplifies it a little bit. For anyone who still wants to do multiple matches, that can be done through the union step still, where you just put your filter at the start of each child in the union, and then it will run through all of them that you need. And limiting unintended usages of width. Just the way the implementation is done in TinkerPop, there's a lot of steps that currently can take width modulation that aren't really intended to, and these tend to be steps that can mutate the graph. So this is stuff like add v, add e, property, merge v, merge e. They all unintentionally can take a width modulation, and they can perform a bit unpredictably with that. It usually ends up effectively adding a property to that step, but it's not universal. So we're looking at those cases and we're restricting them. They weren't documented use cases. They're potentially prone to errors and mistakes. So we're just looking to tighten that up a little bit. So that's some of the semantic changes. There's some others in there as well, but the overall picture is just trying to clean up any inconsistencies and potential points of confusion for users. Also, then looking to we've upgraded to Java 11 minimum, so we've dropped support for Java 8. We're on to Java 11. So now 3.8.0 as of right now, it supports Java 11 and 17. I want to look at supporting Java 21 as well. There's no guarantees on that. I haven't seen all the issues that may encounter, but it's something that I want to consider. But for now, we're on minimum 11, and 17 is also supported. And then we also have some new data conversion steps, and Yang, I'll let you expand on those.
Yeah, so some new data conversion steps. So in addition to what we have in 3.7 already, which was a string state, we're having adding a spool, so it will do some Boolean casting. And then as number, so it's kind of a more minimal set, a more restricted set of conversion steps, so that we're not dealing with more complex casting to like vertices or elements. We want to start incrementally by giving these simpler, more strict typed conversion steps. So for numbers, if you're having, so for example, if you have a string 1 and you want to turn that into an integer, a double, that's what you can use this number step for. So so that's what the number step will act as a kind of a parsing step. So you can parse string into numbers, or as a conversion step. So you can convert, say, integer to double, or like to flow, and so that's a set of new data manipulation steps we're looking to have for 3.8. And I think that is all we have here. And if you want to see a comprehensive list of changes, here's the link to the changelog. And again, many thanks to all of the contributors that made this work possible. And it's a great set of works there. And any questions?
And as we're waiting for questions here as well, I'm going to throw a shout out. We've been doing TinkerPop gatherings on Discord recently, and that's sort of fallen into a consistent schedule. So at the moment, we're doing those every Wednesday at double check the time. I've lost track of that. It's at 10 o'clock Pacific time, which is my local time. I'll let you do your conversions on that. So it's been every other Wednesday. So the next one's next week. And it's just been a kind of a casual get together in the voice channel there. We can talk about anything really. It can be TinkerPop, Gremlin. It can just be general graph stuff. If you have any feedback on stuff that you love about Gremlin or hate about Gremlin, then come there and chat about it. So they've been fun so far. So we'll keep doing them.
If you join the Discord server, the event is actually listed. You'll be in your local time. But we encourage everyone to join. We actually also love to hear what you're doing with Gremlin. We love to hear, how our, users or providers are using Gremlin. If there's some inspirations we can get that can turn into improvements in the TinkerPop itself, that'd be great. So I guess think anything else to add, Cole?
No, I think that's everything.
I think that's good. Yeah, I don't see any question float. So I guess that's a nice and short contributor cast. But so feel free to, if you have any additional questions or discussion points, feel free to put them out on the dev list, the user group, or join us on our Discord channel for some more casual questions. So if nothing else, we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.